Beth's asked a good question again. Are there people who, if they knew Jesus, would still reject him? Are there people who, if they knew Jesus, would still reject him? Yep. I really believe that's true. I think most people probably would. And I just thought of that passage just now, that Luke 16, about the rich man. He said, send Lazarus that he may dip the tip. And then he said, please send someone to tell my brothers back on earth, or how did he say it? Oh man, I should know that. He said, let me read it real quick at the end. I'm getting to a point here that's really interesting that I just thought of. It says here, all right. It says, I pray you therefore, Father, he's talking to Father Abraham. He says that you would send Lazarus, to my father's house. He's thinking of his 5 brothers who aren't right with God. They're not ready to meet him, and they're on their way to hell too. And he said, they have the Moses and the prophets. And he said, no, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, like Lazarus, they will repent. He said, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. And guess what? Jesus rose from the dead. Were they persuaded? Most people aren't. They basically, people don't want, as a whole, unfortunately, don't really want Jesus because he's infringing on their lives. They don't want to give their lives to him. They love their sin and darkness. All right, there's a balance here. Because if the gospel is hid, it's hid to them that are lost, and the God of this world is blinded the minds of them who have not believed, lest the light of the glorious gospel and of the gospel. But if our gospel is hid, it's hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world, that's the devil of this world, the ruler of this world, has blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. So that's 2 Corinthians chapter 4. I think it's verse 4 or something. And that passage says people, if they knew Jesus, if they knew the gospel, they could get it. So it's a balance here, that there are people. That's why we need to go out and share with everyone. When people really know about Jesus, I think a lot of people would be saved. Flip it around, and a lot of people wouldn't. Think of it this way. People in the New Testament times who did know Jesus, many of them rejected him. And they saw his miracles and everything. They sat there and saw it, and they still rejected him. And they hated him. So it really depends on each individual. Would people who knew Jesus reject him? Yeah. Today, yes. Because they're going to do what they want. But on the other hand, people who did meet Jesus in the New Testament, many followed him. Many believed, it says. There were salvations. A lot of people we're going to meet that were written in the Bible, like Bartimaeus, the blind man, or the woman of Samaria got saved. And I think a lot of them can't wait to meet the Syrophoenician woman, who I believe a lot of them received Christ. Lazarus was raised from the dead. The other Lazarus is a different Lazarus. Martha, Mary, those ladies and him, there's a lot of them that got saved. And they met Jesus, so they did, but others didn't. Just like today. I think there's going to be there are some who are going to reject Jesus, even though he does wonderful things for them, and even though we share him, and they're still going to do what they want. And so, super sad. Good question.